My name is Kayla. Welcome back. I am here again, once again, film festival director for A43, and I am so happy to be here today with the some of the top 10 selection winners and um, the Film Lab partners that we've had for over 16 years. This is our 16th 72-hour film shootout premiere. And the theme this year was going viral, and the prop was toilet paper. And filmmakers had 72 hours to make a whole film, which is pretty spectacular. So I hope you guys are all able to check out their films. It is available at afe.org. It'll be available from now until October 11th. And I'm going to pass it off now to Ray, a senior staff member at the Asian American Film Lab.
Thanks, Kayla. So yeah, I've been working with the Film Lab now for about 5 years. Started there just doing sound tech stuff. Now I've been helping to coordinate various programs and just film productions in all that time, and definitely most proud of the things I've done for the 72-hour shootout because, well, it really reaches out to more people in just the filmmaking world and just gives people opportunities to put out their talent. So, and more on that from Tyler.
Hey everybody, my name is Tyler Hanpong. Thank you, Ray, for introducing me. I am the 72-hour film shootout coordinator this year, which is our 16th year, where we challenge filmmakers to write, shoot, and edit a film in 72 hours for a chance to win prizes, mentorships, and a screening right here at the Asian American International Film Festival. So I hope you've checked it out at this point. We're very honored to be partnering again with Asian CineVision to bring the top 10 selection to you guys. Asian CineVision has been a huge supporter and a huge advocate of the Asian American Film Lab, and we are grateful for another successful year of the shootout. Before we get started with the Q&A, I am going to pass it over to Luana Sandoval, who is going to tell you a little bit about a special project she's been working on at the Asian American Film Lab.
Hello, this is Luana Sandoval. I'm the social media coordinator, and I also edited season 13 of Film Lab Presents. And right now, episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 already aired on Spectrum. And I'm in season 6 in 2 sketches, which are really funny. Stay tuned.
Thanks, Luana. Actually, I do have a question. You mentioned that it was on Spectrum. Where else can audiences watch Film Lab Presents?
It's also on Crossings TV.
Awesome. And what does it have to do with the shootout?
We're showing all the films that have been submitted. I added all films together in 5 films in each episode, so you can see all the submissions.
Awesome. Well, I hope everybody checks it out. I want to go ahead and congratulate all of the filmmakers who participated in the 72-hour shootout, and specifically the winners, some of whom we have here tonight. The top 10 selection in the award ceremony is available to watch now. So we'd like to welcome the winning filmmakers to this panel, and congratulations to you all. Why don't we first go around and introduce yourselves, tell me the name of your movie and what it's about. Let's start with our second runner-up, Eddie Shea.
Hi, my name's Eddie Shea. I'm the creator of the film Home Free. Home Free is about, I'm sorry, I have to actually remember it because it's been a while. But Home Free is about, it's about an immigrant girl who's on her way, on the path to citizenship. And she runs into a very, she runs into a situation that essentially alters her entire path towards that, achieving that goal, while she's quarantining actually in her new home that happens to be in New York. So
thank you, Eddie. Chase, let's move on to you. You are the Best Actor winner. Tell us about your film, and yeah, tell us about your film in general.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it's called Damage Control. It's about a music agent named Coy who, has a drug problem and gets kind of wrapped up in the fast-paced lifestyle of Hollywood and music and, pop culture, and gets fired from his job. And in an act of desperation, he tries to relaunch his career, from unknown street musician, and in doing so, sends him down a path of, drug use and just kind of having the wrong mindset in terms of finding fame and prosperity and going viral, which is the theme of the contest. So yeah, it was really great. Just had a really wonderful time, great cast, and just thank you all so much for the opportunity and watching it.
Well, we're excited to have you here. And last but not least, Ashley Mellinger, whose film Vent. Well, actually, you can tell us all about it. Tell us about your film.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Tyler. Hi, I'm Ashley Mellinger. I helped produce and write, and I starred in the short film Vent. It is about a young woman who is a shut-in. She's a recluse pianist and has maybe a little bit of an obsessive compulsive problem. And it just spirals out of control the more time she spends alone, and is fueled by the paranoiac conspiracy theorist that her brother is, until it sort of leads to an untenable situation.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to everybody. And we'll go ahead and ask a couple more questions. And Ray, if you have any questions, go ahead and jump in. But let's start with the theme this year was going viral, and the mystery item was toilet paper, as was mentioned before. How did you guys deal with that theme and mystery item? What was it like interpreting that for you? Let's start with Ashley.
Yeah, I have to say I was really stumped when I got that. I think filmmakers, at least us, our team, we really take ourselves seriously, and we were just like so ready for this like super heavy theme that we were gonna like weave into our script, whatever that was. And then when we got going viral, we were just like, oh my gosh, I really don't know what to make of this. But of course, we understood that it was a little bit of a play on the current situation with the COVID-19 pandemic. And so we kind of riffed on that. And then the use of the toilet paper emerged very strange. Like, I don't know whose idea that was, but the character ends up like cutting up toilet paper and using it to like create streamers. So yeah, I have no idea how we landed on that idea, but someone just decided it would be fun if we got crafty, I guess.
That's awesome. Eddie, how about you? How did you handle the theme this year?
Well, luckily, I get a subscription to toilet paper, so I didn't run out of any. So that's good. So we had plenty of that. But the toilet paper thing, when it, yeah, I think I was actually looking forward to that part of the theme the most when it was announced, because I just started to laugh. I think I laughed for maybe like 30 minutes about it, and then I'm like, what the hell are we gonna do? But I actually had a story the story that ended up shooting, actually thought about it, doing this since the entire pandemic started happening. And it just, luckily for me, we were just able to just toss it in there. And that's not a word or anything, like we didn't toss it or anything, but it just literally use the toilet paper as a quick prop, just to sort of identify the times that we're dealing with today. So
awesome, thank you. And Chase, how was the interpretation of going viral in toilet paper for you?
Yeah, well, it was interesting because I guess a lot of us are in Los Angeles, but here at the time of filming, I know the rules were saying that you need to abide by your city's COVID guidelines, whatever's happening at the time. And at that particular moment in LA, things were open up again. People were going out, and the bars and restaurants and stuff were open. So that kind of created an opportunity for us to to step away from, the COVID theme or, motif that's kind of happening, and just maybe just try to have something a little bit just totally creative and fresh outside of that perspective. So that's when I came up with that idea for the music agent, and we already had some locations in mind that friends had said we could use, so that played a big part in our sort of entire piece. And then the toilet paper, I think the same thing. I didn't want to highlight it in a way to make it like this obvious play. I sort of I think that was an incredible idea, like with the streamers in the vent. I really love that. Like that's such a subtle, nice touch. And same thing with us. When one of our characters he ODs essentially outside, it's just like he needs something to kind of clean himself up with. So it's like, oh yeah, just grab toilet paper or paper towel or whatever, and she comes back with the roll. So something subtle but still poignant enough to where you are aware that it's there. And yeah, it was just try to slyly throw it in there,
And Chase, you were an actor, writer, and director on your own film.
Yes,
What was it like wearing all those multiple hats?
It's funny. A friend and I, we actually started a film production company in May. So we've been writing like a lot of our own projects and shooting a lot of our own stuff for a while. And typically that's how it starts. Like one of us has a script, that we've written. So it's like, okay, let's get together and shoot it. Where can we shoot it? The turnaround for us is pretty quick. So our workflow fit very well with this contest. So it was like, okay, we got the theme, let's sit down and write it and knock it out. And yeah, it was very second nature for us because we've been doing that already with a very small crew. So we work well together, we know each other, and we didn't have to really waste time, contemplating shots and stuff like that because we're all pretty, well connected. So I think it worked well for us.
Awesome. And speaking of companies that already exist and teams that came to this competition already, Ashley, you co-founded Desert Island Studios. You're out in Portland. Can you tell me a little bit about your production company and what you do and what it is you offer to the community?
Yeah, for sure. So Desert Island Studios was started by my partner and I. He is the director of it and he shot it as well. And we created this studio to provide access to people with limited access to film resources. As we all know, film can get really expensive. It can be really hard to get a hold of lights and C-stands and all of the gear that comes with making a film. So we created this studio that's like sort of a punk rock, super scrappy, really community-oriented studio. And actually similar to Chase, because we already had that studio and because we had that community kind of already in place that had worked with each other and were familiar with each other and could take on a lot of different roles, it was really easy for us to come together for the 72-hour shootout and just bang it out really quickly and just, get moving right away without really any issues. It remains one of my favorite quarantine projects that I've worked on, actually.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Speaking of quarantine and the whole race of making a movie in 72 hours, did y'all get any sleep? Did anybody pull an all-nighter?
Yeah, I think we ended up doing that. Like, we had a really late, couple scenes were at night, and on Hollywood Boulevard, we could only do it so late at night, because the foot traffic just wasn't bad, and there's a little bit of action going on. So I think, yeah, the first day we were probably out to like 2, 3 in the morning, and then like woke up at 5 to edit for the next few hours, and then so yeah, long weekend.
My team is so kind. The AD was like, Ashley, you go home. You have to be on camera. You go home and sleep. I was like, okay.
That's nice.
Now, Eddie, for you, you shot on your phone this year, and it was a very minimalist shoot. So I don't assume you lost too much sleep over it. But what was it like working completely on the phone instead of all the equipment that you're used to having access to?
Yeah, very different, but I think, yeah, I mean, I was in a situation where you really just have to trust the people you're working with. And, you know, in this instance, I'm working with just one actor who's also the camera person. So it's really just letting go of, you know, certain things and not having to worry about it. And, you know, I've done these things enough to know what's really important, what's not. And you kind of have to have a big picture idea of what's going on and not focus on the little nuances that might, you know, bother somebody, let's say. So it's again, really trusting her but also I think it's more important that when you're starting out, just like, you know, as the other guys are saying, that that everybody's sort of in the same page, you know, that they understand what the story is about. And, you know, there's no ego involved. You just execute based on what there is. And, you know, a lot of times she would do a couple of takes and she'd send me, I'd say, just send me the one you think, you know, you felt strongest with. Now I know for an actor, that's awesome because they're like, oh, I hate this take and, you know, such and such. And then, you know, they'll want to send you the one they like. In this instance, like I was totally happy to let that go. And I got the take that she thought was great. And I was more focused on, I guess, composition and text and so forth. So yeah, I'm just able to take great takes. Performances are really strong. It was really important for me that she was very natural, that she is, you know, instinctively, which is fantastic. Yeah, and it was really easy. I have to say, it was really great. You know, and I still didn't sleep because, you know, I have twins, so it's like, you know, whatever. But yeah, so, you know, so actually, yeah, it was very lucky. This year was one of the few years where like I spent like very little time on it. It was really great. So yeah.
That's awesome. I want to bring this next question to everybody, not just the filmmakers, but also Film Lab staff. We had so many submissions this year. It was amazing. And so many submissions of high quality. Are there any films other than your own that you want to give a shout out to, that you watched and were super inspired by? Let's start with Ray.
Damn, you put me on the spot here, man. I mean, nothing. It was just like, I remember Ashley's film, like, but I know that she's here. You know what I mean? That's the one that stuck out in my head. So I can't think of another one all of a sudden. Like,
Just block your screen so you can see you.
Just block my screen. Just gonna do that. All right. So about now, let me think of another one. I don't know. Trying to think of one.
I mean, there were so many films that made the top 10 that were amazing, but all the films also that were in the top 50 were phenomenal. What about you, Chase? Is there any other film other than the ones here that you want to give a shout out to?
Well, I mean, like I said, I mean, Ashley's film was really great. I really liked the event.
Thanks, guys.
I said that to you already, you know. So, but anyway, I do. I thought it was just very creative. It was really cool. Although another film that I really enjoyed was Authentic. I thought he did a great job just with, you know, the acting and the story and his use of space at home and the different types of mediums he used to kind of get footage, you know, from the TV. And I even thought the environment that he created of his home, it just felt like oppressing. It just felt, as I was watching it, it was just very emblematic of what the character was going through. So holistically, I thought that was just a really great experience watching that. So shout out to him. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but Authentic, that was a great film.
Eddie, any shout outs for films that impressed you this year as our resident senior filmmaker, having introduced me to the Shootout about 10 years ago? You've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of films.
Yes, I'm very old. Yeah,
I don't think that's where he's going, but okay.
Yeah, I've been doing this thing since, I think the first one I did was like in 2006, maybe 2005 or 6. And I've tried to do one every single year since I've been, you know, doing this. I don't always get to do it, but when I do, I really enjoy it. And I think, like, you know, this is the one speed fest that I really promote because I think it's just an awesome tool. for filmmakers just to like, you know, work their craft and or story or scene, which is exactly, you know, what I use it for. So, you know, I think on the whole, the top 10 this year I thought was really strong. You know, I felt in past, you know, couple of years, you know, there are probably a few films here and there which I felt were, you know, not something that I would have, you know, maybe enjoyed as much, but I thought this year as a whole, as the selection from you know 1 to 10 and as well as the individual awards, I thought they were really, really strong. I do want to shout out. I think this film is For Elise, I think. For Elise, which is also a top 10 film. Yeah, Chausa actually was an actress for me who I introduced also to, and we did I think we did a top 10 film too. Also, this was way back. I can't remember anyway, but she's another fantastic actor. She's actually based.
That was Mr. Yeah, but the film that you won with her was
Mr.
Yeah,
Mr. Siobhan. Mr. Siobhan.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So yeah, she did For Elise. She moved to LA a couple years ago. You know, super proud of her. She's really talented. This year she did a film. You know, at least that got top 10. I don't know if she's done one before, but she also sings as well. So it's really nice. She has a track that's in there. So I'm really proud of her to see that, you know, she's also, you know, joined this, you know, on her own and really making waves for herself. So yeah, definitely shout out to her.
Ashley, any films you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a cop-out, but I have a really good reason for it. So I agree with everybody. I think the top 10 films were great. They were wonderful. Everybody did a fantastic job. But the grand prize winner, Raw Yolk, I think is what it was called. First of all, I tend towards comedy. I know you wouldn't necessarily be able to tell from Vent because it's like very serious and kind of scary, but I really appreciated the premise of that film. The idea of, you know, like a white man deciding to eat instant or like a packet of ramen and then waking up the next day in an Asian girl's body just tickled me to no end. And then additionally, shout out to Walter Masterson, who played that white man, because he and I actually dated when I was first starting out as an actor in New York years ago. So it was so delightful to see him like at the top of this film. I was just like, wait a minute, what? So yeah, I texted him about it and he was like, plot twist, I was competing with you the whole time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, really, really well done. That was a really clever film, so definitely.
I mean, that's part of it. It's the friendly competition, and I love how everybody is connected over social media and is interacting with each other and watching each other's films. And I think that's one of the great takeaways of this competition. Luana, you watched all of them and curated them for Film Lab Presents, and you kind of put them all together for each episode. Is there anyone that you want to specifically give a shout out to that hasn't gotten any love tonight?
Yes, I like in episode 1. I like the most the film with the toilet paper and I don't know. And there were
all the films.
Yeah, I don't remember the title of the film, but the toilet paper is dying, and and it's like the guy. It's his only friend, the toilet paper, so and he's really sad, and I really like the music, and I forgot the title of the film, but it's in episode 1.
I know it's so hard to remember all the titles, but I do remember that one. That one was super funny, where where he had a funeral for toilet paper. So if you haven't caught those films, we have the top 50 available on the Asian American Film Lab YouTube. I want to ask all the filmmakers, what's next for you and your film? Let's start with Chase.
Yeah, well, Damage Control is, you know, we were really happy about this project, so I'm definitely going to share it more online, enter it into some film festivals. Film Freeway, you know, is a really great resource to everybody watching. Easy, great way to submit your projects to a lot of different places. But at the same time, actually with the help of the masterclass win that we got for the top 50. Yeah, check out masterclass. It's great. We've all been watching as a team. We've been watching the Warner Herzog masterclass for filmmaking, and he is just a genius. I love his mindset and his work ethic. So for us, I don't think we're going to spend a lot of time on damage control. I think we made it for a specific purpose for this contest, and we've achieved what we wanted to do with that. We may submit it to a couple other festivals here and there, but for the most part, I think we're kind of moving on to the next projects. And we've already shot another short film, a few other short films. I mean, we're kind of pumping out scripts and working as much as we want, because I think that's really all we can rely on right now with the current situation, is just our own work ethic and habits. And so yeah, we're just kind of launching into new projects, and we're going to focus on submitting those, and just gaining traction from fresh content.
That's great. You always got to stay creative.
Yeah.
Eddie, how about you? What's next for you in your film?
No idea. I'll start to submit it to some festivals. I'm actually still we're still doing the festival circuit for the 72-hour film we did last year, In Sync. I think we hit already like 35 festivals at least. So won some awards, a few nominations here and there. So that's really nice. It kind of sucks you can't, go and actually enjoy in person, but that's a comedy, not so serious like this one. That was a great team that I work with as well. I'm just, I'm home just trying to figure out how to entertain the boys, getting the shit kicked out of me, stuff like that, I'm shorts and stuff like that. I'm just really, if I can do one thing per year, the 72-hour film, this is the one I do, just to keep me going. And but otherwise, I'm just still writing and doing other stuff. So producing too, by the way, producing a lot of stuff as well.
That's great. And Ashley, how about you? What's next for you in your film?
Yeah, same as everybody else. We'll probably submit it to a few other festivals. We might take another pass at it and kind of get a longer cut, since we had that 5-minute limit for the 72-hour shootout. But I think we could maybe edit it to make it a little longer. And I actually am probably going to plan on using it as a work sample for a thriller feature concept that I and another writer will be submitting for, because it's perfect. It's meant for like a female-centered thriller story. So I was like, oh, I have kind of like a version of that, sort of. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, as we are rounding to the end of our Q&A, I don't know if you want to say something else, Kayla, or if we should.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kayla?
Oh, well, Tyler. I think that this was a fantastic conversation with some of the filmmakers, and I was going to say, actually, one of the films I saw that was interesting and fun was I think Pressure Tube, which was like Muppets, or like puppets, and
yes,
that always gets me. And I think that's really clever for like a timed competition to use what you have. So like props to them. Having done a few myself, it's like these are so hard, and I can't do them anymore. I don't know how Eddie has done this for 15 years straight. I did like a few back in like college, and even then I was just like, oh no, yeah, 1 hour, run to the drop-off location, like running the hard drive over. So props to all of you guys for making these films and staying active during this quarantine, staying safe. Also, go and get that coin, make your money before winter comes. And thank you to Tyler, Ray, and Luana for putting this all together for us. Yeah, it's a lot of hard work that they put into this, many months, and having to deal with us, that's like, even like extra work right on top of that. So thank you guys for working with us and continuing to support the film festival. We are excited to see what other programming you guys have coming up next. I know you guys do things just throughout the year. As for ACV, I just want to remind everyone that you can catch the top 10 films on AIF.org. You can get your tickets there. It is a pay-as-you-wish program. You can catch all top 10 films, as well as like some fun opening remarks from other partners. And if you want to see other things from the festival, you can tune in tomorrow. We will be starting off at 7:15 with a conversation with Welcome to Chinatown. And then we're going to do a special Q&A with the cast and crew of Driveways. So Andrew An, Lucas J, and Hong Chao will be joining us for that at 8 p.m. Then we'll also have a Q&A with the short film filmmakers of Crush or Be Crushed shorts. And then we end the night with a game night conversation. So thank you guys for kicking off the first day of the film festival with us. And yes, West Coast represent. No, I'm in New York right now. Yeah, so thank you guys and good night.
Oh.